Hey everybody, this is World War Guy here today, and today we're going to look at the Bulgarian Model 36 helmet. Now, you're probably wondering why would we look at three different helmets. Well, that's because there are three different kinds of the M36. There is the A, B, and C model, or variant. So, a quick little introduction to the helmet. So as it says in the name, M36, it was first developed in around 1936. The first helmets to be produced were actually produced in Germany and Czechoslovakia. Then I believe a few years later, like 1 or 2 years later, Bulgaria finally got their own machinery in Bulgaria so they could produce their own helmets. And surprisingly, they still use these helmets to some extent in their own military. So with that being said, let's look into the first variant. So the first variant is going to be the Model A. The Model A was the first one to be produced, and these were the ones that were produced in Germany and Czechoslovakia before they got their own machinery. So with these, it's pretty easy to tell with one because they're going to have rolled edges. As you can see here, these are rolled edges, and you're going to have 4 big split pins for the liner on each on the helmet, so 2 on each side. On the helmet itself, you got a comb at the top there, kind of like the Adrian helmet, just a little smaller, and you have these big air vent lugs, kind of like the World War I German helmets. Now, quick disclaimer, we're not going to look too much into the paint, liner, or chin strap because my variants are only post-war. I don't have a World War II variant for these, so it's mostly just the shells today. And then, of course, you have the chin strap rivets on the side there. So that's the Model A. Then you go to the Model B, which these were first produced, I believe, early World War II. So the Model A was produced pre-World War II, and then the Model B was produced early World War II. These were some of the first to actually be produced in Bulgaria. And the main difference with these is now the edges are raw, right here. So they're not rolled over, they're raw. This is to increase production speed. And the liner rivets, you're only going to have 3 of them. So you're going to have 1 on each side and then 1 on the back here. You're still going to have the same chin strap rivets, and you're going to still have the same air vent lugs. And of course, you still have that cone shape at the top there. These are actually a little more rare than the Model A because these were only produced for about a year or so. So they're a little more rare than the Model A and C. And then the last one you have is the Model C. Now this one, the only real difference is the liner setup. So if you can notice, there are no more big split pins on the side or back there, but instead you have these really small rivets at the bottom here. This is for the liner suspension system. So you can look inside, you now have these suspension type deals or attachments to the liner. This is kind of to help with the shock that the wearer would receive when an explosion would go off or the helmet would get hit or whatever. So that was kind of the idea for the Model C. And the Model C is the most produced one. It was produced mid-World War II up until, I believe, the 60s or 70s when they start switching out their helmets to an Italian style helmet. But that's about it. Besides that, it has the same lugs, air vent lugs, and the same chin strap rivets. Some helmets will have the tricolor decal for the national flag. Some of them don't. A lot of the repainted ones don't. I don't know too much if World War II helmets had them or not, but you can see them on some helmets. So that kind of concludes the helmet. We didn't go into the paint or liner because, like I said, I only have post-war variants. I do not own World War II variants because these helmets were reissued throughout the Cold War. So a lot of World War II helmets in complete configuration are pretty uncommon to come by. Well, I hope this video helped you guys. I hope you guys learned something. You can now tell the difference when you're buying your Bulgarian helmet. If it did, drop a like, write a comment, share the video for your friends, and make sure to subscribe. But besides that, you guys have a great day.